Okay. Amazing. Lovely to see you. It's officially our last session. I feel like we've been together for a long time, but here we are. And I know some of you are still working on your books, and that is completely fine. And as I mentioned last week, I am still definitely available to support you in that. So please know that I'm still here and that you're absolutely very welcome to reach out to me. I'd love to just go around everybody and sort of hearing where you're at. Some of you are still definitely in the writing process, and that's, as I said, totally fine. But I'd also love to specifically hear where you're at in terms of potentially turning your writing into a course, because I want to use this time to give you specific guidance around like for each one of you on what that might look like, and if there are any tweaks of sort of expertise I can offer, but also any tech suggestions as well. So you've hopefully had time to watch last week's recording if you weren't here last week, or mull over, what came up last week. And as a result of that, yeah, think a bit about what your tech backend might look like. Think a bit about what the content of your course based on your book might look like, and ask me any questions that you might have around that. I'm not going to go into any more kind of teaching notes today around that specifically because it's all in the portal. Um, and if you have extra questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to me privately, individually. But for now, yeah, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear where you're at. I know most of you have kind of been in touch with me privately around where you're at with the writing process, but certainly if you want to share with the group, by all means do. Um, and yeah, any support I can offer around the course side of things. Who wants to jump in first? And Chelsea's saying she's multitasking, so we might not hear from her, but I did hear from her this morning, and she said that she is still in the writing process. She is also working on it becoming the book becoming a course as well. And she's also decided that she wants to add some case studies in. So she's going to interview some women and include those case studies, which will make it, the whole process a little bit more time consuming. And there is a sweet spot. I will say this, like definitely, the writing process has taken longer than I thought. So that's a learning for me, this being the first round that I've run this training. But also, there's a sweet spot between getting it done and not procrastinating and having it just sort of gather dust on your desktop, which can so easily happen with a book. Like it can, a year can just go by and you haven't done anything with it. And I totally get that. I've done that myself. But there's also the flip side to that, which is rushing just for the sake of meeting an arbitrary deadline. And we don't want to do that either. You don't want to put something out into the world you don't feel really good about because you rushed. So I think it's all about finding that sweet spot and that balance, which can sometimes be quite hard to do. And this is, the joy and wonder of being self-employed in all the different ways. So yeah, let's hear from each of you that are able to chat. Probably not Chelsea, but who would like to jump in? Amanda?
Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias. Thank you for everything, Katie. Really, really, when you talk about the sweet spot, it actually makes a lot of sense and it rings true to me. I was all of a sudden in Peru and living really I suppose, my encuentro or my communion with Mother Mary once again on the 1st of May. I had this beautiful encounter when I was in mum's tummy. Just to cut it briefly, my mum sort of she wanted me to be born healthy, but also she gave me up in a way, like an offering to Mother Mary, but Mother Mary of Our Lady of Chapi, and she's way down south, and I was in another state. And it just happened to be that on the 1st of May, the Mass was in honor of her. So I was in a procession and I got to carry her. And that really, really meant a lot to me. I only found about this probably about 4 or 5 years ago. So my whole book is about these beautiful meetings, these beautiful experiences. And in terms of the course, I have in my mind these different piles of my chapters and modules, and I need to incorporate that. So it would have been too rushed, and I need to do more writing, but I'll do it parallel to the book and also the course. And thank you, thank you, thank you. I realized that it's all part of the journey, and it was okay, being okay with that. The trip, without knowing, was part of that. So feeling very blessed, and to all the ladies that have their books nearly done and in whatever process we're in, I think it's all perfect, really, up until I caught the plane back, and now it's all perfecto. It's all perfecto. Gracias. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you, Amanda. Thank you. And I love that image of you getting to hold Mother Mary through that procession. And I wonder, as you were describing it, if that is the end of your book, like that image of you
Oh, yes,
carrying,
yes,
yes, and
yes.
flying out to Peru. And it, because it feels like such a full circle moment. There's like your birth and
Mhm.
then that sort of that image of you with Mary. So just that scene, as you just
Oh,
described it, I think
wow.
that could be the beautiful ending, the conclusion of your book. Just keep that in mind. That was just a thought I had as you were speaking.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, that rings true as
Yeah,
well. Thank you.
beautiful.
God bless you.
Because with books like that, that are memoir, anything that's a memoir, it's really difficult to have a beginning and an end because our lives happened before and continue on after. And so it can be quite difficult to kind of have these
Mhm, mhm.
um like the boundary around the memoir, but that sounds like a very full circle moment for you. So I think it could be a really nice ending for the book.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah,
everyone.
beautiful. Thank you.
Thank
Who
you.
wants to jump in next? I think Susan, did you want to go? Have you got a, yeah, Susan.
I was just ready to jump in and go, blah, 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 haven't finished my writing. Really get that there's a delicate balance dance between procrastination and deadline and getting it done, etc. So really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed your points there, Katie. And last week's replay, sorry I couldn't make it. And today I'm in Melbourne, which is beautiful, in a beautiful hotel, The Hyde. I can highly recommend if you need a hotel. We've had a sales week. And so where I'm up, your question is where I'm up to with writing. Haven't finished, but really inspired by last week's converting it into a course. And I really feel the pull is to be making it well, I felt a pull towards making my Champagne Goddess book, the Badass Women of Champagne, into storylines and histories. But then what do we get out of it for a corporate meaning? And what can we bring this into one normal life? But also, sorry, just getting a call at the same. What what we can make it mean in business and in life, the impacts of the women of Champagne, and then that sense of community is really key. So I'd like to, or looking forward to learning today about the tech around Podia. I think sounded smart for me. If it was about what I'm up to with writing, not finished but still inspired and committed to making it happen. July is my new deadline, and looking forward to converting it from then. So really, I get that we need to finish the book first and then do the course. Don't try and pull it all out, because I found myself going into confusion mode without finishing
Yeah.
the book first.
Yeah. And I
So
think,
thanks.
especially for those of you who haven't run a course before, that's definitely the order, book then course. I know Floss, for example, because she teaches quite a bit, is actually going to run the course first. And she's got so this is how Floss did it. She has a first draft of her book, which is completely written. It's over 30,000 words. Then she created the course from that, and the course has sold better than she expected. So she's actually got a really busy full course now, which is wonderful. Yoga philosophy, history of yoga philosophy. So now she's pausing the book so she can teach the course and give her full attention to that. And her idea is that there might be tweaks and shifts and little changes that she'll make to the manuscript of the book before she then goes on to publish. So that makes sense. The only caveat I would have for that, because I've been down this road myself, is that if you sit on a book for too long, and this kind of goes back to the Elizabeth Gilbert teaching about how a book has its own kind of energetic entity. It's like its own energetic entity, and it sort of downloads in a moment. And then if you don't capture it, it'll be gone. And it's not just a book. She describes that all creative endeavors are like that. They're sort of like these downloads that are available for a certain amount of time. And if we don't capture them, they float off and maybe someone else will even get them. Um, so if we sit on a book for too long, or the idea of a course, what can happen is we change and the idea changes. And then if it's like a year or 6 months or something like
Mm.
that, we can almost be then having to reinvent the wheel and write a whole new book because we are just a different person, especially if it's
Right.
memoir based. So yeah, I just want to flag that for all of you, not for Susan specifically, but just for everyone.
Definitely.
Again, with this idea of the sweet spot, it's like if we don't capture the idea in the moment that it's available to us, in the way that it's available to us, then it will morph, it will change, and it will become something different. And all that means is there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. It just means there's a whole lot more work because you're
Mm.
basically then kind of looking at a
Mhm.
rewrite, looking at a new offering. So
Mhm.
that's a piece to reflect on too. And I would say under 6 months is fine. If you start stretching over 6 months, you're probably stretching into like we become new people, we become different people, we have different ideas and
Mm.
influences, and yeah.
Yeah, thanks. I'm already feeling it. Like I'm like, oh, and now it needs this, and now it
Yes,
needs more.
exactly. And
Even
it's like, how
current
long is
moment,
a
like
piece
I'm
of string? And then at some point, you just have
yeah.
to go, no, this is this. And if I have other ideas, and that's such a useful, I know I've said this to you several times, all of you, but such a useful thing to do is go, that is a great idea. It's not for this project. And then have a dumping place for the other ideas. Like, have a boundary around that. Like, no, this doesn't fit here, but I still love the idea and it's going to become something else over here. I've still noted it. I haven't let it go completely. And on the Podia front, the more I talk to people because I'm recommending Podia to quite a lot of people now, um, the more positive feedback I'm getting. So definitely
Okay.
recommending, like just continuing to recommend it, more and more people coming back and saying it's really great, it's good price point, it works. Yeah, I think it's a go.
Great. Thank
Yeah.
you. But I also
Thank you.
enjoyed your your mini rant about uh Kajabi last week. It was so fun. It was so fun to hear you get like frustrated because
Yeah, well,
you're ever the
it
optimist.
happens.
So
It happens
thank you.
quite a lot. It's not an unusual thing. If you ask my kids, they don't enjoy it so much. But yes, I am particularly disgruntled with Kajabi at the moment. So yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Who wants to jump in next?
Big belt.
Fiona. Oh, you're on mute, Fiona. We can't hear you.
There we go.
There you go.
My apologies for being a bit late on the call and essentially queue jumping from all these lovely women who were here on time. I just need a quick kick up the arse, basically. So that's I know you won't mind doing that.
Power kick, and then you're off.
I'm just my feed is chock-a-block full of people running online singing and singing train, and I'm just
Can I just tell you
I'm
something?
just feeling, do I
let me
really
just
want to run a
pause you there for
course?
one
That's
second, right? Let me just pause you there for one
Yeah.
second because this is hilarious.
Yeah.
This morning, my children woke up at 5 a.m. this morning, which is disgusting. And I was sitting in bed scrolling on my phone, and I saw like a little meme thing of the Indian Prime Minister. Apparently, he's well known all over the world for hugging other leaders of state. Have any of you ever heard about this? So he hugged Donald Trump. He tried to hug the Pope. He hugged like the Italian Prime Minister, and it's sort of like often quite awkward because he goes in for these. He's a big guy. He goes in for these big bear hugs, and then people don't know what to do. And I found it quite interesting. So I clicked on the thing, and I was watching this like montage of him hugging all these people. Right? It's not anything I'm like interested in. I think the algorithm gave it to me because I'm interested in India and I travel to India, so I get quite a lot of Indian stuff, right? Looked at that for about 3 minutes. And then for the next half an hour, I was inundated. I am not exaggerating with things about how heads of state greet each other. I had the French Prime Minister kissing the Italian Prime Minister, and was it two kisses or one kiss? And then how do people shake hands? As if I had a personal fascination with how, political powers greet each other. So this is what the algorithm does. Susan, you're getting another rant. It's truly like ridiculous. You show a sniff of interest in something and it just goes absolutely bananas. And I can't remember if it was in this group or another group. I was telling you guys, my friend Edwina, who you all know, I work so much with her. She runs a perimenopause membership program. And she left me a message the other day. You may have heard me say this before, so forgive me if I'm repeating myself, where she said, "Oh, I'm just so like deflated because everyone's running perimenopause memberships. Like it's completely saturated. You know, there's hundreds of them." And I was thinking there's still a lot of women out there that don't even know what perimenopause is, let alone a membership. It's just the algorithm does a number on us. So I just want you to think about the way that leaders of state greet each other as an extremely niche, and how ridiculous that is that I showed like an iota of interest and then just got completely. So you're seeing everything that everyone has ever made about singing facilitation. And what I recommend you do is go and follow some cats or some florists or something else that you're interested in that's completely not singing, and enjoy your scroll for that, and stay well away from, don't click on anything singing related for a while because the algorithm pretty quickly regroups. And yeah, it's not useful. It's not useful.
No, no. And on the back of that, and a more, I guess, legit question. I'm also concerned, so you can give me a nice pep talk about this, that I have a very small following on Instagram and a small mailing list, right? Like not tiny, but not great. And so if I'm relying, so are we therefore relying on paid ads to fill courses or to partly fill them all? Is
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Well, how quickly do you want to fill? If you have $10,000 to throw at ads, you'll probably have a sold out course the first time that you run it. If you throw $500 at ads, you might get one or two people from the ads. You might get none. It's risky, honestly. If you don't have any money for ads, but you work really, really hard on organic traffic, you could fill a course. It's not, ads are not the quick fix they used to be. I think early 2000s, my God, that's really going back. Early 2020, like going into COVID, all of that, you could just run ads and sell stuff. Like it was much easier. These days, ads are really hit and miss and very variable. Like I ran ads, what was it for? A couple of weeks ago, a month or so ago, I ran ads for my Golden Threads training and they were 98 cents a click and I was getting really high volume, right? So that was a brilliant ad campaign for me and I got some really good conversions from it. It was solid and it converted. Now I'm running an ad for a new training I'm offering in a couple of weeks. It's called Super Simple. It's a business training, quite similar demographic. Like I haven't changed anything. Currently running at $3.92 last time I looked per lead and not converting well. It's just random. And I don't know how Meta works. And I also hire an ad person who's very competent who runs my ads for me. I don't try and do it myself because they're very hard to manage. So the short answer to your question is I wouldn't recommend it. You can waste a lot of money. And the only way to build a business that's really sustainable, and I'm increasingly just believe this more and more, is slow and steady wins the race. You may not sell out the first round. I'm not going to lie to you. You might not get 10 people, 15 people, but you might get five. And then from that five, next time you get seven, next time you get 10, and that's okay. And then very quickly, or not very quickly, but consistently, steadily over time, if you keep going, you'll get more and more and more. And that's when you have a bit, like I look at my business now and I'm like, it's robust. It has gravity, like it feels like there's something solid there. Whereas for many years I felt like, oh my goodness, it's so tenuous, like anything could happen at any moment, you know. And it's only because of time. It's only because of time. And it's funny because again, Edwina and I were talking, some mentors of ours had a retreat this week. 6 women who are all multi-millionaires. One of them's Leonie Dawson, who you guys know I've promoted her work. So Leonie and some of her buddies had a private retreat that Edwina and I heard about because we are mentored by some of those women. And we were having a bit of a like gossip about it, between ourselves. And because they're all multimillionaires, these women, they've all done incredibly well as internet um, coaches, mostly selling slightly different things, but that's predominantly what they do. And we were like, what's the secret? And when we really thought about it, they're all great. They're brilliant women. They do really good work. But the main secret is they've been around a long time and they've been super consistent. They just didn't give up and they kept going. Leonie Dawson's 20 years in. I'm nearly 8 years in. I would say it probably wasn't honestly until year four or five that I actually got real stability where I felt like, yeah, this is going to pay for my mortgage and my groceries every month. So I think this is really easy to say when you are in a place of stability, and it's really hard to do when you're not. And I remember, I'm not like preaching from the mountain. I know what it's like. But if you can try to let go of the attachment of like, this has to work, this has to work. What if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work? Somehow, when you soften on that a little bit, it tends to work better. That's all I can really say to you. And a really big piece for me in being able to do that has been remembering my love of the work. Like anytime I get really caught up in worrying about numbers, worrying about marketing, will it sell? Will people like it? All of that stuff. I just go back to what do I love about the work? In fact, I had a moment this week. It was quite funny. I was feeling really stressed. I had a couple of really stressful days with the kids. It's just been a very busy week. And I had a lot of things I had to do, and I was a bit overwhelmed. And I was kind of just like, not for very long, but just having a moment of really not loving my business and my work and all the commitments I had. And I knew that I was going to have to put the kids to bed and then stay up and do some work at night, which I don't like doing, blah, blah, blah. So I was a bit like, "Ugh." And then I had this pile of books on top of my desk, which were all like yoga and Ayurveda books that I haven't read yet. They're just like sitting there in a pile waiting to be read. And I looked at them and I kind of looked at the titles and I was like, oh, I can't wait to read them. I felt this real excitement of like, I actually love what I do. And I'm, like, even after 20 years of studying Ayurveda, there's nothing I'd like more than to just sit down quietly and read a book about Ayurveda. Like, like how much more Ayurveda can I possibly consume? But I love it. And so in remembering that passion, um, it really helps. And I heard another coach say a thing that she does, which is sort of similar, is she has a little folder of testimonials. And whenever she feels a bit flat or worried about money or worried about sales, she just reads through the testimonials and it reminds her that people get real benefit from what she does. Even if it's only a handful of people at this point, it's enough to keep you going. So there's your pep talk. I hope that's helpful.
Thank you. I wanted to share, if it's okay, just two quick little nice things. I had this woman email me because I have a poster up in the window of where I run my singing circle in Clovelly. And she emailed me and said, oh, I saw your poster. I'm in the Northern Rivers. I don't even know where the Northern Rivers is exactly, but I think
Like
it's
Byron, all around
Mullumbimby,
that area.
And she goes, do you know anyone who does that up here? Because it would be so great. And I just went back to her and I said, look, I actually don't. But I'm going to be running a course, about, helping women. I can't remember how I phrased it, but, facilitate. So maybe that's something you could do and you could start one. And she came back and said, oh, I would love that so much. And she said, my friend would be interested too. So, I mean, one thing to say it, one thing to do it. But I thought.
It's your first two clients.
And so.
Yeah.
So that was really
let me just tell you something. I really want to, this is an important thing that Fiona's just raised, right? I believe this because I'm woo-woo and I really believe that energy is a thing. When someone shows interest in something that I am offering, I really try hard not to have that thought of like, oh, maybe they'll sign up, maybe they won't. It's not real until they've paid, like that whole kind of thing. Instead, I literally visualize that person is already in, they've already committed. Like right now, we're selling our North India retreat. And we've got 8 women who are just floating around, like they haven't committed yet. The early bird ends at the end of this month. And, we're just kind of like, they're just like maybes, right? And it's really easy to go, oh, well, there's 8 maybes, but they're not solid. So, we haven't actually got the bookings. Or you can go, there's 8 maybes. Like I'm seeing them. I'm visualizing us all sitting at breakfast. I'm visualizing us all on the plane. So there's an energetic piece there that actually you get to even in the language that you use when you're talking to those people, like I would say things like instead of saying if you join, I say when you join. Like it's really just you're already in, you're already part of it, you already belong. And yeah, I think that's really powerful. Yeah, that's great. That's really, really great. And I think sometimes the universe sends us these little breadcrumbs just to keep us going, right? Like when you're having some doubt and then someone comes along and is like, yeah, no, I would join. And also my friend's interested. That's a really beautiful affirmation. So yeah, you don't need me. Just keep going. And are you switching over to Podia? What's happening for your tech?
I've been looking at Podia, but I'm sort of leaning to Ivory. I know it's a bit more expensive, but it does have more facilities, and they've just been so helpful in their support.
Yeah,
Like
they
I've
are
asked them a
really
shitload
good.
of questions because I'm that kind of person.
Yeah.
Whereas Podia just seems a bit more like I have my website on Wix, right? So it's a bit more like, oh, here's all the stuff, and like here's our help kind of
Yeah.
library, and I just thought, oh, I'm gonna be I've actually got the woman who I got on Fiverr who helped me just do some email stuff. She's familiar with or she says she is anyway, familiar with both of them, and she's like up for helping me, in things that I might need help with. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of leaning to Ivory, even though it
Yeah,
is a little
I
more
think I've heard
expensive.
really good things about Ivory. I think it's really,
Mm.
really good. If you do end up going with Ivory, reach out to Chelsea because I know that she has an affiliate code, so that would be good
Oh,
for her. And they're good. Ivory are good. For me, they're a little more complicated if you want to do like more technical things, but they do have more functionality, definitely.
mm,
Cody is like simple, which
I
some people
think
want,
I
and
like from my understanding is Ivory, like you can connect all your socials and then
yeah,
like
you
do it,
can. You can automate a lot of stuff.
yeah.
And they do have really good support. And they are Australian and they're women owned, which is much
Mm,
nicer than a big American
mm,
corporation for sure.
mm.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks, Fiona. Good on you. And Fiona's going to have her launch in person in Sydney soonish. So we
In
should all go.
July.
July. There we go. Make
July.
sure you invite all of us because we'll
I shall definitely.
I
yeah.
would love to come.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, we'll have a little get together. That'll be great. Yeah, beautiful. Who wants to jump in next? Kat.
Hello. Um, so I have had to kind of put everything on the back burner for the past like month or so. Unfortunately, my daughter is having a mental health crisis and is doing okay, but it's like been very kind of up and down for the last few weeks. And yeah, it's just been very really draining. Like I'm feeling it at a very kind of low point at the moment, but trying to kind of keep going um, to keep my therapy practice going as much as I can because I have a couple clients that are in their own crises at the moment. So I'm trying to do my best to support them. But kind of like to your point, Katie, like thinking about the energetics of everything. Like at first I wanted to like keep writing because I felt like that was a good outlet for me, but I just felt like, and I'm still feeling a little bit like not 100% in my body, like my brain isn't working as well as it could. So it's the timing of things are funny because I started like, you had suggested that we start with kind of like the easiest part of the book to write. And so I was like, I'm just going to start kind of with my anecdotes because I feel like, it's easy, maybe easier to write about my own stories versus like the more like clinical type stuff or, tools and strategies that I want to share. And a thread that I kind of identified in writing the stories was that a lot of them we're talking about like difficult things that I've had to navigate in life. Like my mother had breast cancer like 4 years ago, right? As like we were kind of, at least the US was like just coming out of all the pandemic restrictions. And then we had to kind of go back in and create a bubble again. And I was one of her primary caretakers. And So just like that story, talking about some like struggles in early motherhood, talking about like doing like volunteer work in Honduras when I was like a teenager in my 20s, experiencing like some traumatic events in different situations, but kind of like the common thread in everything is that I feel like in my book, I know that I have a call to serve. And I know that every kind of major challenge I've been through in my life has allowed me to then come forth and better serve people. Like even having my daughter diagnosed with autism a year and a half ago has been a real roller coaster, but like I just kind of like you were talking about, Katie, you're like, I'm so lucky that I get to do things that I'm passionate about. So like I decided that I'm going to spend the next couple months doing a certification in like better understanding autism and providing autism care, even though that's not like a specialty area of mine. But like I actually started jotting down ideas for another book called like The Mother Portal, like probably in some ways similar to Chelsea, but my daughter's had a lot of both like medical and like, you know, developmental challenges since she was born. And same thing, it's like I think about all the times I've had to fight for her or fight with systems to see what was going on to get her what she needed. And so it's like every challenge that I've been through, every time I've had to fight, like I've gained something that I can then put back out into the world to help other people. So even though this has been really, really difficult and I'm like bummed, like I was like excited to finish the book and I had ideas for launching and I definitely am going to turn it into a course, but I'm just trying to have faith that this is just sort of like a detour and I'll come back and maybe my book will look a little different because I'll have some more to share. So sorry to kind of word vomit, but
No, it's
just trying to
absolutely.
sum up everything.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. And I know because you and I have been in touch privately that you are holding so much for your daughter. And I want to just really remind you that it's okay for you to take this time. You know, there is a lot going on for you and you're holding a lot of space. And I think as a mother, sometimes watching our children suffer, it's worse than our own suffering, you know, like you would happily take the burden of her suffering to not have to witness it. So it's a lot for you to be holding space for, and completely understandable that the book would be on pause. And the only thing I would say that in a very positive way around the book is that you've written enough that you've got a really solid foundation there. So it's not like you've just got a few little wispy threads and then you're kind of like lost and you'll come back to it and you'll be like, I don't really know what I'm doing here. You've got a very solid outline and you've written really the guts of it. So
Yeah.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised when you do come back to it that actually the completion piece isn't perhaps as much as you think. But also I wouldn't rush that, Cat. Just give yourself some time and space because there's always that lag, you know, when you're in kind of crisis mode and you're caring for someone that's in an immediate um, crisis, you're just in fight and flight, you know, survival mode. And when it starts to settle, you'll probably for a while be completely exhausted. And that is like plan for that, I guess, is what I'm saying in the best possible way. Like
Right.
give yourself that space. Don't feel that the minute things stabilize with your daughter, you have to then rush back into doing the book because you know, you will just burn out. So, yeah, sending you so much love and just
Thank you.
the book will be there. It'll be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as I've said to you, I'll be here to support you as well when that time is right.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah. Sending you all so much love, you and your family and your
Thank you. Thank you.
thank you. Thanks for sharing.
Sure.
And of course, all these things that we go through in our lives are you know, they're the rich soil from which everything that we're creating grows, and our willingness to share that stuff is what is so healing for other people. It's often just the stories that are the thing that really help people the most, actually. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Tracy, how are you doing?
There we go. There we go. Okay. Hi. Hi, everyone. I am sorry, I've got weird things come up on my screen, but I am, yeah, like I've had to actually pause my book as well, but I've been able to write more words um, in the book. So I'm up to about 20,000 words, which is a lot more than what I was up to. So I'm pretty pleased to just pause there for now. I'm just focusing on my work and some family issues. But what is driving me is just remind everyone I work as a psychologist. And I actually have a wait list of about 15 people just waiting to come and see me. And I've told them it's about 2 month wait, and having my book there would be something that I could offer them while they're waiting to come and see me. So that kind of keeps me going to think there is a purpose to this book, and also eventually a course as well, which would, and so the book, just to remind people, is the Secure You book. So, yeah, so I think it will be quite beneficial to my clients. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's not just, it's beneficial to them, absolutely. And especially if there's a course to go with it, that's a whole ecosystem that people can start actually working with you before they start working with you. But it also makes a lot of sense for your business because it means you capture those clients and they become, again, part of your ecosystem. So yeah, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, it's hard when you're busy and
Yeah,
a
but I'm
book will
very
always be the thing that goes onto the back burner first because it's not urgent unless you've actually got a publisher's deadline. It's the thing that is easiest to just kind of go to the side, and that's okay. It is what it is. Yeah.
Yes. So, Katie, can I just say I'm so grateful because I've been writing this book for the last 3 to 4 years, and I've written more during your course than I ever have. So, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. And like Kat, you've got with 20,000 words, you've got enough, and I know you've got a solid plan too. You've got enough of a foundation that you're not going to go back and be just confused and at sea and kind of it's not soup. It's really solid. And it's just literally a case of kind of knuckling down and getting it done when that time window opens up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you, Tracy. I know that Hayley is driving, and I also know that she's already submitted to Word to Kindle, so she's going to be looking at publishing quite soon. How are you going, Heather?
That's me.
That is you.
Hello, lovely people. Good morning. I started writing a little bit again last week, or was it this week? I don't know. But it was good to kind of put my fingers back on the keyboard and feel a bit inspired. And I noticed that my writing was also different, like what we've been talking about after. So my mum is very sick at the minute, and I'm doing full-time caring for her. And it's interesting having a big cry about that in all the grief world, and then sitting down at the desk and noticing how different my writing is from that perspective and what that felt like. And it was actually nice. It was really nice. And I just wanted to speak to that for anyone who's going through the throes of life, that sometimes it is actually quite lovely to see what gets created in the written word from that energy.
There's
I
a
was
lot
very
of
surprised.
there's a lot of tenderness when we're emotionally vulnerable ourselves. There's a kind of softening and a tenderness that comes through. I know as a yoga teacher, some of the best workshops and programs I've taught have been times in my life where I've been in the throes of some big emotional upheaval. And it's almost been like I can barely teach, like I'm just like really struggling. But then they've somehow been some of the best work I've ever done because the veil becomes very thin and we're much more kind of open and vulnerable. So, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Like there's a sort of tenderness there that is much harder to access when we're just happy and coasting through life and everything's okay.
Exactly. And it fully pierces through into what would I want to hear if I was reading this? How do I write like that? What's actually going to land, not what just sounds professional or academic or whatever. So that's been nice. I'm up to 28,000 words and we're continuing to edit backwards and take things out and realize that I doubled up, or so I've hit 30 and gone back down. and I got very stuck in my introduction, but now I have, as my husband told me, leave it alone and carry on doing something else. Um, so yeah, I've kind of taken off the pressure. I was feeling really stressed about not having finished the book in the timeline and like the program and all the things. And I was like, what am I guess I should just quit everything. I already went through that whole cycle. But now I feel like I'm kind of peeping my head up a little bit. Like it's okay. It's going to happen when it happens, and it's going to be beautiful. And you've already written most of the thing. Like it's not time to jump ship. But it's definitely been a time these past few weeks for sure. Um, yeah, yeah. I don't really know what else except for it'll happen. We're in the in deep in the throes of life and just adding little bits of magic to the book where I can. And the program is going to be great to have up there. And I've got a lot of ideas percolating on like the just how I can overlap the activities that will be in the book, like we talked about, with what will actually be in the program, just so it doesn't have to be a double work. And I got some feedback from a friend who just finished a course that was based on a book, a corporate professional program. And she said that part of the program, the homework was to read certain pages in the book. And that, like what we were talking about last week, to do it. And she told me that it was one of the hardest, tiring things that she was being told to do because she's working already 9 till 6, trying to, have a high pressure job and then coming home and being told to read all these pages and then getting behind each week. So that just made me kind of rethink, because I was definitely going to do that in my program, but kind of rethink how I could actually just summarize things for these working people so it's not an
Or
extra load.
I think maybe summarize is one option, or another option is record the audio so people can
That's what I
listen
mean.
on their
That,
commute. They can listen podcast style. I think that's the solution. Is
yeah.
that people will ask you, do you have an audio book? And they've asked me all the time for Yoni codes. I'm like, no, but I have a course. So, and the course is
Mhm.
better than an audio book. So, yeah, I would definitely do and make it. I know this might sound silly, but from a tech perspective, make it super easy. Like literally upload it like almost as a private podcast or in a platform where it's super easy for people to listen. So they're not having to like clunkily go through something to find the videos or whatever. It's just really easy on their commute, on their, walk, whatever. They can listen
Mhm.
rather than read.
hmm Would you recommend not making an audiobook then for the book if
I
you're going to
would
have a course?
definitely not make an audiobook if you're going to make a course because they'll
Okay.
compete and the audiobook will be worth peanuts, whereas the course, hopefully, you'll charge properly for. So the upsell from the book is the course, not an audiobook. That's why I deliberately have not made an audiobook because I don't want to undersell my course.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And what do you feel like, Katie, about bringing people into a course? Like, say, for example, launch the course and don't get a lot of uptake, and then offering discounted or even free positions to certain people in exchange for reviews, just so there's more people in the group program together.
I don't like starting out with that intention because what that does immediately is put us in the realm of offering everyone a discount, knowing that it's a free option. If, like, I just like a solid, I'm selling, and you're either in or you're out, and you invest or you don't. And
hmm
if someone doesn't buy this time, rather than say, here's a discounted place, I'd much rather say, come next time.
Okay, great.
Save up and come next time. I think we create a lot of muddiness around investment and our worth and our value and what our things are worth if we negotiate around that too much. And I also think that 2 or 3 powerful testimonials is really enough to start with. You don't
Yeah.
need 100 testimonials. You just need 2 or 3 good ones.
Okay, great.
So that's my perspective. I do run scholarships. I do offer discounts. I do that, but I always do it after a launch and privately. And I generally just do it because I feel really cool to. Like if there's someone who I actually just want to work with or want to offer, it's like for me, what it is usually is it will be someone that I can see is really committed and is actually going to do the work and wants, doesn't have the means, but is fully invested. Whereas when you're kind of offering it for a testimonial, often you get someone who's half-assed. And
Yeah,
that's
okay.
kind of not great for you or them.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying a hard no, but I'm just saying be careful with the energy of that, because
Yeah.
what you're doing is you're already saying it may not fill, which is not
True.
a great
No, it's
manifestation.
while we're starting. Yeah. Yeah, I hear
So
that. I
let's
hear that.
let's visualize, oh, I'm going to be inundated with testimonials because it'll be full and then I'll have a wait list. Like, let's come in with that rather than like, oh, I have to scramble and ask my next door neighbor if she wants to join because I need an extra testimonial.
Yeah.
I'm exaggerating, but you get my drift. Fiona.
Yeah, I just want to make a point. Like, I ran a weekend at Freedom Farm in March, and it wasn't as big as the one I did last year. So I madly offered people discount codes, and I even said, like, if there's like a couple of complimentary places for people in need, and I got no uptake on it. Like, everyone was like, oh, thanks, oh, that's great, oh, I'll tell my. And it didn't make any difference at all. And it was just a waste of my time. And it was kind of embarrassing and kind of desperate. So I won't do that again. As you say, it's just whoever. And then I embraced the smaller cohort and it was fine.
Yeah. Embarrassing and desperate are strong words, but But here's the thing, right? It also, what happens when you go into that energy is you're playing the short-term game. You're just thinking about this launch, right? And like, oh, it's embarrassing because I didn't get the numbers this time. We really have to change our perspective. We have to go, this is just my first launch. And for my first launch, I only expect 4 people, 5 people. Like, have the bar be reasonable. Second launch more, third launch more. I mean, some of my offerings, I've been launching them like literally dozens of times now, and I get the numbers, but the first few I didn't. So it's such a mistake. It breaks my heart when people think they launched something once, they didn't get amazing, great big numbers falling out of the sky, and oh, it was a flop. Or even worse, people don't want this thing. People don't want it. It's not that people don't want it. It's just you haven't yet had enough eyes on it. You haven't yet established your reputation. The first McDonald's was one individual restaurant, burger joint that someone opened, right? Like, he didn't start with hundreds of thousands of locations all over the entire planet. Like, everything has to start with a self-generating beginning. So if you immediately start giving out free burgers, then everyone's just like, oh, that's the place you go for free burgers, right? It's devalued. Whereas if you go, these are gourmet burgers and they're worth this much. I don't know why I'm using a burgers analogy, but anyway, people get to know you for that and they come. But what you have to do is really hold like your center and play the long game. And this is what works in business. And another part of that is not chop and change too much what you're offering, because then people get confused. So consistency, I mean, this is Rachel Rogers 101. Have one offering until you've made $1 million from it. That is like, she teaches that, the woman who wrote We Should All Be Millionaires. One offering until you've made $1 million from it, which I have not followed that advice, but I get it. And the more I'm in business, the more I get it. Like, honestly, do not change lane too many times, because you get known for one thing, you do it really, really well, and it's just really solid business advice. Which does bring me to one more thing I just want to mention in case I forget. Some of you are already in this program, but I have a membership which is for people who've done my business trainings with me, and I am going to open that membership up to you. Like I said, some of you are already in it. For some of you, it's not relevant. You're not running a business or starting a business, so it won't be something that you want to join. That's completely fine. But I'm going to send you guys an email with a discount code if you do want to join it. And that membership we meet twice a month on Zoom. One of the sessions is hot seat coaching, so it's just Q&A, ask me anything you want, and we chat. And the other session will be like a teaching sort of masterclass from me, where we go through some specific content. It's not expensive. It's $50 a month, but like I said, I'm going to give you guys a discount, so you'll get it 50% off for the first 3 months. And it's just a really good way of you staying in touch, staying in community with other women, being able to ask me questions. You'll get the archive of all the previous recordings, which is now a couple of years worth. So there's lots of masterclasses in that. I've deliberately kept it really low cost because I just want a way that women who've already worked with me, it's not open to the public, can continue to work with me. So for those of you that still want support and know you want to launch a course and monetize and make a business, that's a really good option to keep going with. Um,
Okay, that's great.
and I'll send you an email about that. Was there anything else, Heather?
Yeah, just one more question. So in the great universe where we make $1 million of having all the people are coming into the program, should we have something to sell to them when they're finished? Like would it be one-on-one coaching?
The process is freebie, low cost, high ticket, right? So in this model, freebie is whatever your freebie is. It's good to have one because it brings in numbers. That's your bringing in your audience. Your low cost offer is your book, right? You've
Yeah.
got your low cost offer. And a book is the best low cost offer because by the time people have read your book, they really know you.
Yeah.
And then your course is your high ticket. And then honestly, once you've built out that infrastructure and that machine is working, then you can think about what comes after that. Is it one-to-ones? Is it corporate? Is it a bigger ticket item? Is it a retreat? But don't even go
That's
there
incredible.
until you've got that funnel, that infrastructure in place. Yeah. Amazing. Thank you. Chelsea, did you want to share? I kind of spoke for you a little bit at the beginning. I don't know if you heard that, but I kind of caught everyone up a little bit on where you were at. Oh, you're on
Okay,
a
there we go. I was just trying to find the unmute button on my phone. Thanks, Katie. Yeah, that update was great. And I've just been sitting. This has all been really useful. I've just been hearing little bits while I'm double teaming. But I was thinking with my course, I'll do it as an invitation, like an application process, I think. So, because I think it's really important when it's quite a unique space to make sure that there's yeah. So I think I'll do that. And my book is parked, but I'm really itchy to get back into it. Just had a lot of other pots on stove. But yeah, this has all been helpful just to hear, and honouring the different things that people are moving through. Like that's life, isn't it? I think having that self-compassion that sometimes we need to put things down and it's not a reflection that we are failing at this. It's just that there are other glass balls that need to be held. So yeah, just honouring that for the people that have had things going on as well.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. There's a woman called Katya Nova, Katya, and then her surname is Nova. She's on Instagram. You'll find her. And she runs a high ticket membership, like a sort of mentorship program that's application only. And I listened to a podcast with her recently. I like her a lot. She's a very smart woman and very good at marketing. I don't actually really like the stuff she sells. It's not my cup of tea at all, but I like her. So I'm interested in her marketing, not actually her products. She does a lot of she's really into sex stuff. She does a lot of I want to say S&M. I feel like it's not quite that, but anyway, that's her bag. It's not my thing, but I like her marketing. And she was talking about she did a whole podcast on it. If you find her on Instagram, you might find it, or if I can find it, I'm not sure. I'd have to look. I can't remember what it was called, but she was talking about this idea of application only and how her mentorship used to be, I think it's like a $10,000 mentorship. It's pretty expensive. Used to be just you can sign up online. Now she does it application only. And the difference that has made psychologically for a high ticket item, that actually she has more people interested. It's sort of like that FOMO thing that sometimes when something's application only, it can actually be a stronger call to action rather than a barrier to entry because feel like it's a curated group and that care is being taken in a controlled space. So
I found even with my one-on-one clients that has yielded more aligned clients compared to say when I've had referrals from GPs and they've had one session and it just hasn't. I think it's important to have that alignment in what you offer and what they're seeking and make sure that there is a match. Otherwise, I think, and you've talked a bit about energetics in different ways throughout today's call, but I think that's important to honour each of our unique way of selling and marketing and serving. And I know for me, when I'm doing things with people where say their employer has paid, but they're not fully on board, they don't have that skin in the game, I never feel I don't know, it's just a different feeling compared to those clients, like you were saying, even when you offer scholarships, to people who they're invested and they care deeply about, this work and the opportunity to do this work. So, that's just bubbling away for me. But
yeah, I totally get
back
it.
to the book as well.
Can everyone feel the difference in that energy compared to the should I give a discount because I need a testimonial energy, like night and day. And it's I can't tell you guys enough, and I'm all about strategy, right? You know me, like I love clear strategy, marketing techniques. I'm not just here for the woo, but that energy of um you're lucky to be in a container with me. And, I've worked my whole life to create this work, like of us holding our own work in high esteem. It's everything in selling and marketing versus the energy of, I really hope I get the numbers. And even this far in business, I still have days where both things can happen, right? So it's a constant dance. It's not that I'm always holding that energy, but that's what we want to really like work towards. And when you catch yourself in that kind of like Rachel Rogers calls it broadcast mindset, that kind of like less than mindset. It's whatever you need to do. For me, I listen to a lot of podcasts and I listen to a lot of that kind of like I really like listening to podcasts of women that have like make a lot of money and normalize like really high amounts of money. Like I've been listening to Maria Went a lot recently, who I don't even really like her, and I don't think her strategy is that great, but she makes loads of money and she just talks about it like it's completely normal. Oh yeah, we had a $10,000 day yesterday, and I'm working towards $1 million months. And just listening to women normalize that type of conversation is incredibly encouraging. It's really helpful versus like someone who's just like, oh, you make a living online. Oh, you're a yoga teacher. Oh, is that enough money to like, pay the bills kind of thing? Like totally different energy. So all right, women, thank you. It's been an absolute honor to be in this space with you. I'm so grateful to you. Thank you for coming on the ride with me. There were definitely some tweaks and some changes that had to happen on the way because this was the first time I've done this and I've learned a lot. But I can honestly say it's been one of my favorite things I've done so far. Ever in my work, and I'm definitely going to do more of it because you've been such an inspiring group, and I cannot wait to see and hold your books and promote them. And that is absolutely a big part of what I want to do for you. So when you do have your books, please, please, please make sure that I know about them so I can help you sell them and promote them and tell all my people about them, because I'm going to be like a proud grandmother sharing all your work in the world. Take care, everyone. Have a lovely weekend. See you all soon.
Thank you, Katie.